it's really, really lovely to be here with you, Melanie, Jeff, and your son Daniel as well. This is your first stay in the property since you bought it with us at Beaux Villages on the 15th of November 2024. And you've been really lucky. What a beautiful sunny day we have here. Glorious fire behind you. Yeah. So tell us what your thoughts are now with the first stay in your property. How's it been?
I think it's been a dream come true in so many ways. Just the opportunity to be here. It's beautiful. No negative surprises, which is always nice.
Brilliant.
But just been and meets every expectation. I mean, we've just been
already feels like home. It does. It feels already like this place was made for us, and the previous owners helped us to feel that way. They really wanted us to feel like this property was now blessed and handed to our keeping, and we love that. And so our first stay has felt very, very natural, very comfortable.
Yeah.
Quite a blessing.
And Winston looks very cozy and comfortable as well. Yes, with his lovely Christmas coat on. Lovely space.
Oh,
yes.
he was so happy. He got out of the car and immediately began to run. Free. Like there was not a sidewalk in sight. And so he ran.
Fantastic.
And, loved it. And he also felt quite at home and was very intrigued by everything, every plant, every bush, every little nook and cranny. But
Fantastic.
He's
Yes.
enjoyed it. And I feel like, Daniel, you've enjoyed being here this New Year's Eve and brand new year to celebrate.
I love being out in the more remote areas of anywhere that I ever go. So it's really nice to be able to say that we have a home here and
a place in France where you've never been.
Right, and me and my siblings have been very excited to see this process happen, and we're excited to see it all come together. So
That is brilliant. And tell me a little bit more about your impressions of the buying process, because you told me that you saw this property on Beaux Villages Instagram account. Tell us a little bit about how that buying process was for you.
Yeah, I think we had first of all, I mean, maybe like many people do, dreamed of having a second home of a place like this, and for us, a place in France. Never really thought it would be possible.
It was fun to dream, fun to look, and we were just awed by so many beautiful properties. Actually, there were several.
Beaux Villages Instagram started showing up. I can't remember even how we connected, but we would look and think, "Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh, that's more affordable than I expected." And then this one popped up, and we sent it to one another, and
we both saw it.
Just it really checked so many boxes for us, but still, even then, the idea of buying a property in France just seemed, it was so intimidating. So just our experience with the administration is just so different than in the United States. We know how to buy a house in the U.S. We had no idea how to buy a house here. And so really the key for us was what was really the way that you took some of that intimidation out. It's still intimidating. I mean, there's still steps. It's still very different, but we knew every step of the way what was next. We understood the different parts of the process, everything from vendors that were recommended to us to the notaire, to the expectations for converting dollars to euros, all of those kinds of things that were terrifying to me were explained so well that it really, now looking back, I think that was easy, which it wasn't.
It wasn't easy.
It wasn't, but it compared to what I expected. Yeah.
I heard you saying from the very first phone call, from the very first encounter that we had with you, you encouraged us to dream. You encouraged us to think it could be possible. It's no, you're not out of the realm of, it actually happening. So that we appreciated so much. And so I was looking so forward to meeting you. And then when we did, I was, again, encouraged to continue with the process. And we felt like you were very, very instrumental in our piece, in our knowledge of the different steps and processes for purchasing a home. I had never known about parcels, so I learned so many things. And the actual process of the different documents and explaining those very carefully. We did not feel lost walking through those documents in French, and our French level is good, but those are very, very particular. It's very particular vocabulary, and
even if we hadn't had any French, I feel like
we could have understood.
It was doable, because one, everybody we worked with was at least bilingual English French. Everyone knew the process, knew the system. Like I say, was able to explain that. And
very fond of you and Beaux Villages. I mean, very obviously.
That's right, yeah. Beaux Villages' reputation, I can tell, made a difference. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they were all happy to work with us.
Excellent. Yeah. And have you managed to meet people in the village and so on, and find out a bit more about what there is and
we've had an opportunity. There's a cafe, kind of a pub once a week in the village that's run by volunteers. And so we were able to go down there the weekend that we closed on the purchase, and met a lot of people, were introduced. And of course there's other expatriates here. We met somebody met several from the UK, from Germany, from the Netherlands. But then also lots of French, people who are from here. And so that connection has been really good so far as well. Now we're just on the front end of that, but it's been
very welcoming.
Yeah,
extremely so.
Not so much better than the reputation maybe sometimes that you think of moving into a small town anywhere, including in the U.S. The small towns are not very welcoming. Well, so far they've been. Extremely. It's been very open and yet not overwhelming either. So.
They've encouraged us to enjoy and be on our own as much as we want, but know that the community is here. Any question we have had about the firewood, how to take care of ourselves here, where the closest markets are, the closest grocery stores. They've been so
good
helpful.
Restaurants and all those things.
Yes, great recommendations, and their excitement is part of what makes it feel so natural to be here. And so we're excited to get to know our neighbors a little bit better.
And you said right at the beginning you dared to dream, and you weren't absolutely sure you were going to achieve that dream. There are a lot of Americans, I want to say people from the US, who were and are in exactly the same position as you were. What would you say to them in terms of how to move forward? They might see a property in France they'd love to own. We get contacts like that all the time that say that. So what would you say to them? What recommendations would you make to them?
Make the first call. Take the first step, and even if you think, oh, this is just crazy, what are we doing? Go ahead and follow a dream. I really believe that that's what happened, is that we thought, and we called our kids and said, we're thinking about this, what do you think? They were all three so encouraging, and wanted us to take that first initial step towards saying what we could do, what could possibly happen. And so I would encourage anyone that, because there are all levels of affordability. There are properties that can have lots of help, and you can work on it, or you can buy a place that's perfect. There's a lot of variety, and I love the way we feel like you just matched us with something that met our needs and our stage of life, and it was perfect. Take the first step.
And would you say it's quite important also to work with an agent to help you.
Oh,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
100%.
I mean, again, we bought houses in the U.S., so we know that process. But there was absolutely no way that I would have even tried this without an agent, like Beaux Villages.
With experience and
I mean, it's possible that I
success
could have
rates.
gone with a French agent, but just the language. You know, we're fairly comfortable in French, but there's so much vocabulary, there's so much terminology, there's so much legal back and forth. It would be, I cannot imagine doing this without an agent. I mean, period.
Right.
I think that's critically important. And I would go with Melanie. I'd say make the call. If you see something, I mean, we called and said, we like this. We talked to you. You said, well, what are the things you're looking for? And I told you 4 or 5 things. And we happened to be here for a weekend and looked at 3 or 4 different properties. And so make the call. We never felt
Pressure?
we never felt pressure.
Not at all.
Certainly never felt inappropriate pressure. We felt the pressure that we put on ourselves to make the good decision, but we always felt like we had the information we needed to do that. And quite honestly, every step along the way, I thought, what am I missing here? Is there something here that that's
Not
going to burn me?
seeing, or yes, that's going to come back later.
Yeah, I mean, we felt like we had all the information. You were very responsive every time. If you weren't available, there was somebody else available. There was somebody on the team that knew this or
Our
that,
situation.
and so yeah, and I don't know if this really matters to other people. I never felt dumb. I never felt like I was, being made fun of or anything like that. I mean, maybe that's not a big deal for some people, but I always felt respected. But I also always was ready to hear, and did hear so many times, things that I needed to hear to make a good decision.
And not
very
drag our
elementary
feet or
things,
wait
even.
too long or miss an opportunity that might not ever come up again. So I appreciated that greatly. Yes.
Yeah.